Okay, today we're going to test out the 3080 and the 9900K in a game called Cold War. The latest drivers are 1080p, 4040p, and 4K. Yeah, how this is going to go is I'm going to test out everything. So all the presets, all the DLSS options, just how it performs for each preset. And I will, at the end of the resolution, I will talk about DLSS and FSR quality, which one is good and which one, or which one you should go for to still retain a good image quality. So yeah, we're gonna do it with NVIDIA Reflex on, film grain, motion blur, the usual junk is off, FPS limit is off. There's no full screen, borderless is the only option here, which makes benchmarking a lot more difficult, I can tell you. So next time you make a game, Sony, or PC, include full screen. Thank you. Anyway, besides that, yeah, so let's see how it goes. So DLSS is off, graphics is low, and I chose a spot to test it out, which is the spot where the PlayStation 4 and the 5 drop the frames the most, so it's the most demanding. It's also the start of the game because I didn't particularly play the game yet. It's just more easy for me to also do it. So we'll go into a fight and see how it performs. So this is low without any DLSS.
No, you are not ready. Stay back.
Of 1080p. At least let's check it out real quick. Yeah, 1080p. Now, as you can clearly see, we are heavily CPU bound here. Yeah, the GPU is not even working here. So going for DLSS options is probably not very useful. Yeah. Let's just check it out real quick. No, it's pretty much the same frame rate. So, yeah, you can expect a low settings for the two people that care about that. It's a system like this. You can expect about 160 FPS. Anywhere above that, you know, it is what it is. So, in other words, super smooth experience, right? So let's put DLSS off and then move to graphics and select the original. The original is the PlayStation 4 Pro and PlayStation 5 settings. So yeah, let's see how it performs without DLSS on. And then we go to the different DLSS solutions. Yeah. CPU bound again. I think the 1080p benchmark is going to be short. Yeah. Because DLSS is not going to add much to it. Let's actually check it out. Quality. Like, let's just move on. It's 160 FPS and that's pretty much it. Yeah, the card doesn't have any issues with this at all. So let's move to high. And there's no point in going different DLSS options because there's no performance gain there. I just put it on quality for the extra detail and that's about it. So no DLSS and we're gonna move to high. seems like the CPU is getting more demand or has to run more. Because the FPS was lower, but the GPU concentration is still not 100. So it's 145, 150. Let's see if DLSS adds anything. I don't think it's going to add anything performance-wise though. Yeah. Let's load save again.
No! You are not ready! Stay back!
Father! Above you! Right foot!
It's 150, yeah, around the 150, 160 range. So let's move one down to the launch. As you can see, they're heavily CPU bound at this point. This is the last. We're gonna move to Ultra pretty soon. You know what? Let's do it now. There is no performance gain with DLSS at this point. Let's move this to off, and then let's move the graphical mode to Ultra. Now the difference between high and Ultra, as you can see, is like 50% performance impact straight up. It looks like my GPU is completely consumed though, so. Sitting about like 100 FPS, so let's see what happens when we enable DLSS here. We finally have the boost for DLSS. Not really actually. Sitting at like 110. Yeah, about that. 110, 120. Let's move to balance. Same performance, it seems like. A little bit higher maybe. Yeah, it's at about like 110, 120. Not particularly much of an increase, but balance and quality is not that far apart. I think, right? Yeah, look at that. Like the resolution is really minimal. So performance is in a bigger jump here. But it adds nothing. We are straight up CPU bound. Ultra adds a lot more CPU demanding execution. So yeah, even while the GPU seems to be toxicated pretty severely, the CPU is just not. There is no performance increase, so I just assume it's going to be CPU. Let's see also Like, what's the display resolution of Ultra Performance? It's 360. Holy shit. This being 360 is just absolutely absurd, man. And then having this quality, that's just insane. We actually do have a little bit more performance now, but it's minimal. So yeah, let's move on to Ultra Plus. So this is the maximum settings that the game offers. Let's move DLSS off.
Trogger.
That's it. Oh wait, we are done. Let's load in again. So this is the absolute worst performance you can get of 1080p with a 3080.
My bow!
No! You are not ready! Stay back!
I'm not gonna lie, your CPU bounce. It's amazing. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. That happens a lot with the 3080 though. That's the reason why I got another screen. Because 1080 will just not saturate and 1080p will just simply not saturate with 3080. About like 100, 110 around there. So graphics, let's enable DLSS. Yeah, let's move on to balance.
Right side!
It's about the same performance, so let's move to performance. The same story, it stays around to 120 around there. So yeah, let's move on to lower setting ultra performance. Oh, we actually get a little bit more performance. No, we don't. In short, you want more performance at 1080p, you need a better CPU. Yeah, that is the reality of it. In short, just play an ultra performance with the DLSS quality. There is no reason to not change anything on this front with this card. You will be CPU bottlenecked anyway. If you really want to have high-end performance, I would just say don't go to ultra. Just move everything besides textures to well, besides textures, anisotropic filtering, and that shit just needs to be maxed out towards high. You will do all better performance. You will get straight up 50% more performance. To see what quality DLSS and FSR is at 1080p,
They've
which
never
is
come
pretty
this close
hard
to our
for
world before.
both reconstruction techniques to run. So yeah, so let's first check native out. So this is native, okay. Natives looks, yeah, it looks interesting. Okay, it just looks native basically. So display, we're gonna move to quality. So you can see with quality DLSS, the sharpening is a lot more noticeable at 1080p than the other resolutions, for sure. However, I can see that basket now far better than I could with native, funny enough. So yeah, you know, if you like sharpening, if you don't like sharpening, this is probably not gonna work well for you, but I would just say enable it. Balance. This is a little bit more blurry. Still perfectly doable. Yeah. There's absolutely no point to go for balance though, for this card, but you know, if you have a weak card, there you go. Performance. So performance resolution is pretty low. And it's really noticeable now. So I will performance, I will avoid that for 1080p. Unless you have a small screen and you can deal with it. I won't do it. Performance is more useful for 4040p ultra wide and 4K. Ultra performance. Yeah, don't bother. Like, problems everywhere. Like shimmering, blurry, don't even bother. So let's move this to off. And then move this to ultra quality. A bit blurry, but still fine though. Gives me a little bit of a headache for some reason. Because it's probably a little bit blurry. So like specifically when I look at that fire. Yeah, I would say again the same thing as with like, it's probably between performance and balance to quality. From DLSS, graphics, display, let's move on to quality. Yeah, this is basically the blurriness from performance from DLSS. Yeah, I will not want to play the game this way. I'm not gonna lie. No, it's just bad. Balance. Yeah, it's blurred, so it gets worse. Don't even bother. So for 1080p, I would say if you don't got a DLSS card or a 2000 NVIDIA card, go for you need more performance. Go for ultra quality on FSR. I think it's still doable at 1080p. Otherwise, just keep it at quality for DLSS also. Like maybe balance you can still manage to do, but load and balance out for 1080p I wouldn't go. I would honestly just keep it on quality, to be honest. So yeah, that's my my 1080p ID. So yeah, I'll see you at 4040p on it. It's now time for 1440p. Yeah, all the resolution, or the resolution, all the settings and stuff like that. So no DLSS, graphics, low, preset, and see how it performs.
Ah! My bow!
No! You are not ready! Stay back!
I think we are going to be CPU bound pretty quick on this these settings. Yeah, so let's see what quality do. So 160 about that. We are heavily CPU bound now. We are completely CPU bound at this point. So I don't know. Let's test the other one out. Balance. See if it makes any difference. It's gonna be 155, 160, 170, depending on. Yeah, it's kind of useless to go further than this. So we're just gonna quit it there. And we're gonna move to PlayStation 4 Pro and the PlayStation 5 presets and see what it does on that one. No DLSS. There we go. About like 130 around there, 40. Yeah, 130, 140 around there. Display, let's move DLSS on. So we have two people on the next at this point. Yep. Yeah, we use CPU bottlenecked, same story again. Let's go to balance. Yeah. Let's try another one and then we move on. Performance. Yeah, we're basically CPU bound anyway, so let's see what my save is. Yeah, game on the original and low settings are just like the GPU just flies through it. CPU also, by the way. So let's move on to the next one. Let's put it on off and graphic mode. Let's go to high, so we actually put some taxation on the GPU. Yeah, no DLSS. I think there's no DLSS on, right? Yeah.
My bow!
No! You are not ready! Stay back!
So it's about 120, about there. Let's see what we get with DLSS on. So you get about 20 frames more. Yeah, let's go to balance. Again, CPU bound, 140, 150 display performance. Yeah, let's go to ultra performance, just for science. It's all basically turning around like the 150. So yeah, the GPU is not particularly doing much, it seems like, even on this. So we're gonna move on to the next resolution, ultra, and we have no DLSS on. Save.
My bow!
No! You are not ready! Stay back!
So we're seeing about like around the 90s to high 80s, something around that. So let's move to quality. Yeah, 80s, 90s, 100. It's about 20% more performance, I would say. It's decent. It's not really a lot from what I find. Normally, DLSS adds a little bit more. $110 about that. Something around there. Yeah. No, 110. Okay, let's move on to performance. Stays around the we CPU bound at this point. Yeah. Yeah, I think we are more CPU bound at this point. I think Ultra adds a lot of CPU overhead. Ultra performance. Sitting on that like 110. Yeah, we're sitting around there. Ultra, so Ultra is about like 110 of that sitting, so I'm not gonna lie, Ultra performance looks like it's terrible, just don't even bother. Graphics, let's move on. Let's do custom, everything maxed out, and then DLSS is off. There we go. Slowly save. Where's my save? This. Yeah, so we're sitting about around the 80s.
My bow!
No!
80, 90,
You are not
maybe.
ready! Stay back!
So yeah, 80, 90s. Let's see what DLSS adds.
On your right!
It's super smooth though, like 100 FPS is super smooth. If you play with 40p, there's literally no reason not to play it with these settings that I'm playing with. Unless you really want to get like 160 FPS and shit. Yeah, I honestly will play it with this setup of this solution. It's about like 90, 100 FPS, that's exactly what you want. Really good. Performance wise, it's really good. Graphics, no, what is it? Display. And then let's go to balance. Again, we are CPU bound. I got a feeling we are CPU bound here.
Right foot!
same one. Like the other one. Anyway, let's move on to performance. There we go. So about like on 100 FPS, 110. Yeah, I will just keep it on quality. There is no... I think we are super done. You can do ultra settings for science or ultra performance and see what happens. Again, like around 100, it's perfect. Yeah, let's finish the group off. There we go.
Frogger. They've
So
never
yeah,
come this close to
you can see the 88%
Keep moving.
users. Like 100 FPS, you will be basically. I will just straight up say just use quality DLSS and be done with it. Let's see what the qualities of the DLSS versions are versus Native and FSR. Yeah, same story as with 4K, right? Like it's just better than Native. I will just straight up enable it. I see no shimmering, no anything. Everything is clean. It looks good. So yeah, just enable it. It's also free performance, so why not? Balance, let's see if the quality upholds with 1440p. A little bit of see a little bit of shimmering, to be honest. Yeah, there's a lot of fine details. So there's that. It's you have to search for it though, but still perfectly acceptable at 4040p. It's a little bit more blurry, I would say. Yeah, it's a little bit more blurry, but it's still acceptable performance. No, there is too much aliasing. Like I would say, skip this unless you need the performance actually at 4040p at a lower GPU. You can still use it perfectly fine. But if you know where to look for, you will see some yarning stuff here and there. Like that tree, for example, it's a little bit flickery. But it's really minor details, something like that. Feels a little bit like... Yeah, I don't know. No, I won't do it. It looks a little bit more blurry in general on top of it. I think performance is great for 4K or ultra wide 4040p. It also works fine. For 4040p, I don't know. Doesn't feel good. Ultra performance. Yeah, what can I say? Just completely avoided this resolution. It's not good at all. Let's say display. That's off, and then put this one on ultra. So this is FSR. Let's see what FSR does. A little bit shimmering. Shimmering over there. Feels a little bit like balanced DLSS. I would say. It's a little bit more blurry though. Feels a little bit like a hybrid, like a little bit like performance, but the branches are more intact, so it's a little bit in between balanced and performance. If you need a performance, I will do it for 4040p. You could still do it perfectly fine. Quality wise, this is too blurry for me. Yeah, I won't do it. I won't do this one for sure. Like that fire looks a lot more blurry. So you can still do it if you can deal with a little bit of... Oh, what's this? No, I don't wanna go in photo mode. Graphics, display. Let's see the other one, balanced. Yeah, skip. It's way too blurry. I won't bother with that. So all in all, what I would advise for this hardware, I would say go for ultra settings, everything maxed out, and then just quality DLSS, and you'll have a good time. You have maximum performance. you will sit at like 100 FPS and you will have all the maximum bells and whistles visually and good performance on top of it. So I will do that. If you don't have DLSS, you have another card and you have like a 6800 XT or 6900 XT if it comes close to a 3080, yeah, then I would say go for FSR quality, but I will not go lower personally. Maybe quality if you really need the frames, otherwise I won't bother. So that's my advice for this resolution. Anyway, yeah, I'll see you in 4K, the next resolution. It's now time for the 4K resolution. Yeah, DLSS off, then the graphics set preset is going to be low. Let's see how that performs.
My bow!
No! You are not ready! Stay back!
It's about 90 FPS. Yep, 90. Let's go to display. Let's just about 120. Now we're gonna go to the DLSS balance. About 130s, a little bit higher than that. Performance. That's 140. Also performance, low settings. For 60. Yeah, it's about 160. So let's move on to the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4 Pro settings. See how it performs on that solution. That's 14. Yeah, the resolution is lower on both consoles, but I'm talking about the pre-settings, right? Or the preset settings. Because this is pure native 4K. So you sit about 80 FPS here. Not particularly spectacular. So let's enable DLSS. 100 FPS. A lot more responsive and smooth. Oh yeah. About 100 FPS, 110. Yeah, about 110, 100 FPS. Around there. Let's see what blondes do. It's about 10 frames per second higher. Let's go to performance. I'm 135 down there. Also performance. I wanted, yeah. 140, about that. Not particularly GPU, the GPU is not particularly pushing, it seems like. So yeah, 140, about that. Yeah, I think that's all the DLSS versions. Yeah, we did. Okay, let's put that on off. Then go to graphics, so let's go to high. Higher setting. While we do that, let's also load in a new save. Here we go. Let's see if everything is still the same. Off and graphics is high. Perfect.
My bow!
No! You are not ready! Stay back!
Above you!
It's about 70s, a little bit high in the 70s. Yeah, 70, 75, about that. Display, let's put DLSS on.
Left side!
About 90s. So let's move on to the next one. Graphics. Display, here we go. Blonde. About 100. Yeah, 100, I would say, something about that. Let's see, performance. Yeah, let's put performance. like that. On a 10, it's a little bit, it goes up by a little bit constantly. But also performance. It's 120 FPS, 130. Yeah, it's about 130 around there. Okay, so let's move off, put that on off, and then graphics. Let's go to ultra. Yeah, ultra, right? Yeah, you can't ultra that one. So do that one, and then you're gonna go to DLSS off. Yep, and we're gonna load the new save again because the monsters are almost dead. So ultra civil.
My bow!
No! You are not ready! Stay back!
Above you!
So about 60. Let's move to quality. It's about low 70s. Yeah, it's around low 70s, so low 70s. Let's go to balance. We go here. About 80, around the 80 frames, about that. Let's move to display and let's put it on performance. It's high 80s, around there, sometimes 90. Yeah. Let's put ultra performance on. It stays around the 90s. It seems like Ultra is doing a pretty hard job on the CPU front also. Let's go to custom, and this is Ultra Plus, so this is max settings, and then see how it holds up. So no DLSS on top of it. So this is the hardest part. It's gonna drop under the 60, there's no other way.
My bow!
No! You are not ready! Stay back!
On your right!
Again around the 60s, it seems like. Oh, little drop out. Yeah. Display, let's move to DLSS. It's around the 70s. Low 70s to mid 70s. Okay, graphics. Nope, display. Balanced. So it's around the 80s, I would say. Let's go to performance. Yeah, it stays around the same. Yeah, the same solution. I would straight up just put it on performance for 4K, that's for sure. Let's see, display, ultra performance. I think we had all the resolutions now and all the settings. Yeah, for Ultra, I will just say go for performance, DLSS performance. Let's see how DLSS actually holds up at this resolution. Let's first get native going. Oh, that's not native. So this is native.
Stronger. They've never come this close to our woods before.
Keep moving.
Looking good though. It's such a foggy area. Yeah. No issues there, so native is native, you know. Let's go to the graphical settings, display, and see quality, like what the visual quality actually is. I would say it looks a little bit better, but it's hard to notice. Probably if you zoom in by 9,000 times, you'll probably see something. Looks practically native. Like it looked absolutely no worse as native for sure. I think it looks a little bit more better actually, but that's about it. So I will just enable that always, pre-performance really. Balanced. Yeah, the problem is my 4K solution. My 4K screen is extreme. It has a really high pixel density, so it's already like hard to see at that point. I would say this looks about native. It's kind of, yeah, I would say it looks about native. Could easily do that one. You will not lose any quality over that. Performance. So performance is kind of interesting because, yeah, with performance you see a little bit more artifacting. Or not artifacting, but what is it, like shimmering on trees. Like I don't see any shimmering there though. See it more on that branch over there, it shimmers a little bit. So there's that, but it's like really low, like really. If you want performance, I will just, on 4K just go performance DLSS. It's practically not as good as native, yeah. It's a little bit less, but it is what it is. If you need more performance, absolutely enable it. I do think that this option, also performance, can be useful if we move to 8K. Other than that, 4K, I would just say still, even on 4K, I would just straight up say avoid it. Unless you really need performance, then there is the option, you know. But at that point, I would just say just load settings. Shimmering is a lot more noticeable at this point. So yeah. Advice for 4K performance if you need more performance, otherwise balance, or if you want to have max quality, go for quality. Always enable DLSS. So there's that. Let's see what the FSR does. Yeah, it looks fine to my eyes. It's a little bit less than native. It's a little bit less than native, but I don't know, dude. Like, it's so minimal, the difference. I would say enable it. It's far better. The quality is far better than Horizon. But Horizon has a lot of fine detail, which this game doesn't have. Everything is like static. Like, for example, this, you can't even walk through it. It's basically just a piece of wood that digress. And if you walk through this, for example, look at that, you know, yeah, it's not particularly interactive. It's just stuck. There's no, you know, the trees are not moving. Oh, they actually do move a little bit this way there, but it's barely. Feels like really everything is frozen in time, really. Feels like a little bit like Halo on that front, you know? Yeah, I would say quality is still perfectly fine. You see a little bit more artifacting on trees and stuff like that, but it's still acceptable, perfectly fine. Balance gets a little bit blurry. So it's gonna depend on how much pixel density you got. The finer detail, like on the tree, starts to become a little bit worse. Same with the grass. But you need to like really focus on it though. So I think balance is still fine. Yeah, I would say it's still fine. Balance is still fine. At 4K performance. It's better than ultra performance, but I think it becomes way too blurry at this point. Like this is like really blurry. Yeah, I will just stop there. I will not go there. Just reduce your settings at this point. I don't even do performance. Let's see what balance did. Yeah, it's a little bit blurry there. So maybe you should actually skip balance if you like fine detail. Quality is better. Quality is fine. It's still a little bit blurry, but you know that's just the way FSR works. So yeah, for the best quality, DLSS with far quality presets, then balance is pretty good. Performance is still acceptable, and for FSR, I would say ultra quality and quality are still good options to go for. So yeah, that was yeah, okay. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys in the next one.